Weber State named Eric Kjar head football coach in December after he had unprecedented success at the Utah high school level. Coach, welcome to the Big Sky. Excited to have you as part of the family. What made Weber State the right job for you?
Just that it's close to the area, and kind of where I've grown up, or at least around in the area. I grew up in Wyoming, but I've coached in the state of Utah now for 21 years and understand the familiarity of like the area and recruiting and the type of talent that's around here, and then just familiar with the program and the program's history and success and also the Big Sky. I felt like it's an area or a school that you can win at and do well with and be able to have a lot of success too. And it was a good time and opportunity for me to make that jump.
You've been a coach in the state of Utah for 20 years. You said last 9 seasons were spent at Corner Canyon High School, where you posted a 112-10 record, 6 state titles. How did your time in Draper prepare you for this opportunity to coach Division I football?
I think some of the advantages of being a high school coach is you kind of get to do your thing and try new things and like experiment a little bit and find out what works well for you. And you can get a little more creative, I think, especially we did some of that offensively with our pass game things and push the envelope a little bit there. And then just, being exposed a little bit to more and more from a schematic standpoint. Being at Corner, we played some, high level programs, and you get challenged that way in some different ways from a scheme standpoint, being able to push your kids to do some different things from a scheme standpoint that can kind of take advantage of maybe some talent, or also if you're lacking in a little bit of areas from a talent standpoint, how are you going to game plan that up? What are you going to try to do to try to give yourself an advantage? One thing that's great about the high school side that helps prepare me from, being from that high school level is you do a lot of different things as a high school head coach. Like you're your strength coach typically, at least I was for us. And then a lot of speed development things and all those types of, you're monitoring academics and you're meeting with kids and creating, game plans for them and watching film with them, or you're also just counseling them about school or maybe decisions that they have coming up. It's you get to do a lot in a lot of different realms, and you're really their connection. So when you get to this level, you've done some of those things before and probably even a little bit different than what they're used to from a college coach. So it's been good.
What's been the biggest learning curve of going from high school to D1?
Man, there's been a lot, but probably the biggest one has been just the procedures of running a college program is quite a bit different. There's some similarities, especially when it comes to the aspects of football, like the football side of things, but like all the other things, like the recruiting, the budget, the travel, managing scholarships, managing like stipends, schedules, planning like through our recruiting meetings and all that type of stuff. There's really a lot that goes into it, meeting with people and boosters, and it's pretty extensive. That's new for me for sure. And it's been a good adjustment. I've learned more in the last 4 months than I ever have in my career.
On the subject of learning, you just wrapped up spring ball. What did you learn about your team during that time period?
I think we have a really good team culture. I think we're going to continue to take steps in that direction and get a little bit closer and closer as a group. I think we were able to kind of understand what each other are about from coaches and players. But I think one thing that we all found in common is that we're all pretty driven and want to be successful and are competitive, which I think is really, really important, and continuing to try to establish some things that we want to create and a culture that we want to identify with going forward. Being able to identify some of those things and know that we're not quite there yet. We got a lot of room to grow still in our program. There's a lot of work left to be done, and we made some steps, but we have a long way to go.
What will be the biggest points of focus at fall camp with, a long way to go in mind?
Establishing like probably like a physical and tough group up front on both sides of the ball, to where you feel like you're creating some toughness and physicality in your program, especially at the front on the offense and defensive side of the ball. And we're young in those spots we don't return a senior at all, and still just practice habits. I think we're not quite where I want to be. I think we took great steps there as we continue to focus on that and enforce it and hold kids accountable. As we get into fall, we'll develop that more and more. And hopefully, we're practicing at a level that can get us to a point where we can compete for some things.
When you think about August 29th, running onto the field for the first time as the head coach of Weber State, what excites you the most?
It'll be a little bit of a dream come true for me. Just if I'm being honest, I have always kind of wanted to be a college coach. And then I wasn't sure, kind of like as I got to that point, I started having like kids early and kind of moved away from it, and then really fell in love with the high school game and coaching at that level, and being able to develop those younger athletes and kind of the influence you get to have. So being able to do it as something that was a dream of mine younger, and being able to come back to it is going to be pretty exciting. And then also just the hard work that we've put in and will continue to put in until we get to that point is going to be, I'm sure we'll be like, it's about time, right? At that point, like it's ready to go. Let's finally get the pads on and get some juice going and have some fun and go compete and get to finally play some football.